Good evening, good evening. Well, something's lying to me. I know there's at least 4 of you all here, but it's saying I got one watching on the screen. There was some music that wasn't as lively as I hoped it was going to be. I only had a couple of minutes to throw this night live feed together tonight. I was asleep 10 minutes ago, maybe 15 minutes ago. The wenches, the mod crew, they woke me up. Here we are. 3 people watching. End times. Hey, hey, hey. So it did say we had 4 guys a minute ago, then it went right down to 1. Maybe the dancing turd didn't really do it for most folks. So welcome, guys. We are sort of on a little bit later, although not really. This is kind of usually the time we used to do the live shows before this pandemic nonsense changed our lives and took everything on and stood it on its head. So let me get your comments up. Let's see how many more you all are in the crowd. I did recycle the thumbnail from Sunday's show. You may have noticed. I knew you would like the dancing turd that made in Montana. Hey, hey, Heidi. Wow, wow, wow. It looks as though our little favourite Cajun's missing. I did get a message for her on Saturday or Sunday saying that her phone had died and she was doing some babysitting. Although that's what I translated from her message, maybe. So welcome, Heidi. Welcome, End Times, Judy Bell, and Maiden and Baby P. She's here. So I did see Elmel was commenting on one of my videos a very short time ago. You know the drill. It does take a little while for some folks to roll in, but we're doing good so far. 7 in the first couple of minutes. Normally we don't get those crazy figures till maybe 15 or 20 minutes. So how are you all doing? You may notice I did take down Saturday night's live show. It's a very good show. I was a little bit upset that I did take it down, but maybe our troll bashing, or rather my troll bashing, might have got me in a little bit of hate speech trouble. Eating a fish sandwich. Yum, yum, yum. Although once upon a time, fish sandwiches were something we'd call a vagina. But that was back in England, maybe not so much here, fish sandwiches. So we did have 7, down to 6 now. Maybe somebody left. I'm hanging in there. Good to hear it, Heidi. But yeah, I did take the live show down from Saturday night. We did have a lot of good stuff being spoken about in there. But I did do a video on Upload, an axe wound, you remember, made in Montana. Which was something we did talk a lot about on Saturday night, as well as my recent attendance at the protest. Now, some interesting stuff. Some videos have been circulating around YouTube and on Facebook from the Toronto end the lockdown protest. Got some very, very interesting comments. Now we're down to 6 people. 6 people. So my God, there was me thinking we were doing well and being ahead of the curve, but now people seem to be leaving. Although one says 6, one says 5. We'll just give it some time. Maybe we should wrap this show up in a couple of minutes. In fact, that's what we probably will be doing, wrapping this show up in a minute or so, calling this show to an end. But some of the videos that did circulate that I saw on the Toronto protest, I actually feature in a couple of one. You can see good old TSP in the background of a few. And the other thing was I did get some good comments from other people that said, oh my God, that's me. And they kind of time-stamped the moments and look forward to seeing you next week. So that was a good little bit of sort of after the event feel good factor about going and attending out to hit up my top ramen stash. One of those days, what more should I wanted, but always a tasty type. Very funny you should mention that, End Times. I kind of had a little bit of a day like that myself today, where I'm just not sure what I wanted. And that's not just necessarily for food. That was just in anything. I just woke up. And I think part and parcel, the main reason is that after Sunday, I don't know if you guys know, but Sunday we had a day here in Toronto that was 21 degrees, gorgeous, gorgeous sunshine, warm, proper spring-like days, blue skies. I sat outside for almost 7 hours. just not doing anything. I just sat outside. I didn't read. I didn't listen to music. I just may have smoked, but I just sat outside, and oh my god, that was like medicine. I felt like $1 million on Sunday evening. Just partly the uplifting experience of the protest, and to finally, after 7 months, be able to have a day that complemented my soul, and kept me warm. Yesterday we dropped down from 21 on Sunday to 11 degrees, and then today was 8 degrees, feeling like 5 degrees. So it should have really just been 5 degrees. I think they sometimes lie to make it look a little bit better. There you go. That's what it is now. 21:18. That's 18 minutes past 9. 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius. Well, here's the thing, Maiden. No, it won't. It's actually going to be colder tomorrow, colder Thursday, and then for the weekend, rain and more cold weather is moving in. In fact, I can show you the 10-day forecast. If this isn't enough to make you really... It's May. It's not fucking March. It's May. And the hottest day we have in the next 10 days is next Thursday, when it's 13 degrees but raining. So this is my 10-day forecast. I know tomorrow never comes out. Mostly cloudy, 8 degrees. Tomorrow we do get double digits. Thursday, look at that, 11 and 1. Friday, 0 overnight. 0. It's fucking May. Saturday 6, so look at that, 6 Friday, 6 on Saturday. Sunday we get a 10, then we get an 8, an 11, and a 12. That's May, guys. I really don't know if this is the chemtrails. I really don't know if this is or not some weather modification, because I can only imagine these grim, if not necessarily let me rephrase and start that again. I can't imagine that all these grim and grey, dreary, cold days are doing very much to lift the spirits of the people that have been enforced into some kind of quarantine, shelter in place, stay at home, out of work, no longer essential. Now, Sunday, when the sun was out, like almost every family was out in their front yard, either sitting around, kids playing on scooters and skateboards, ball, hockey. There were even a bunch of kids down the end of the street running around having a ferocious water fight for hours and hours, but the neighborhood was alive. You can almost feel the energy in the joy of the people being able to kind of enjoy being outside. And maybe a lot of these folks were still kind of sat on their own property, not necessarily mingling with their neighbors, but it was nice to see people out and about, and it was kind of nice to sort of feel that combined collective energy in the air, very similar to what was going on at the protest. But if it was like that every day, then people would possibly be outside every day. And this is where I'm kind of beginning to think, are they manipulating the weather to make it shitty to keep people inside? Because as I said, people yesterday were outside, and goodness knows how many went to the park, went to the lakes and stuff like this. And they've actually closed up Hyde Park now. Hyde Park here in Toronto has been closed. You're not allowed to go in there, and you can be fined for doing so. It is easy to stay in when it's and this is it again, Maiden. They can predict our weather for the next 10 days. Is that because they've got a machine that can make it do exactly that? I mean, sometimes it does change, I'm not going to lie. And sunshine supposedly kills COVID. Well, if or not COVID is indeed the threat that it's been made to believe, we've been made to believe it is, I really, really don't know. And I don't think it really does need vaccines, or possibly the remedies that they are suggesting. It might just be, like one of those illnesses that you kind of just need to get it into your system, get over it, and get on about your business afterwards, because that also does seem to be the case with people that have got it. Remember, I did a video on that guy that was on local news here that went partying in Miami on Saturday night, come home on Sunday. On Monday, got COVID for 2 or 3 days, was absolutely close to death. And bang, the following Friday, he was right as rain, looking the picture of health and able to do a Skype video interview on a CP24. Yesterday should have killed all of it then here in Texas. Exactly. You do get some more temperatures, you know, the vitamin D, the UV rays and stuff like this. It really was a tonic for me. I did. It's probably why I'm feeling so low now, because kind of you get that little taste of it and you think, okay, finally, you know, we are in May now. We're going to be experience some nicer, warmer weather. Here she is, Hoopties in the house. And my goodness, Hoopties, I've sparked your curiosity for sure in the last few days with some of my videos. Some of your comments and interactions on that have been absolutely fantastic. And see, you and Elmal were doing a little collab, kind of trying to fill in some pieces earlier. But I was talking to another sort of friend that I kind of made recently, sort of via YouTube and sort of through kind of checking some Canadian like lockdown information and stuff like that. I come across somebody, a young lady in Ottawa. And I'm trying to get her to come and join one of our live feeds, because I think she'd be a great. Sometimes you try to cherry pick people a little bit for this this audience, and she would be certainly a wonderful addition, I believe. Very smart girl. But I was chatting to her about her weather in Ottawa, and I'm like, "Yo, you kind of noticing some weird weather?" Because I even pointed this out to Roger, and that sort of almost every single day that it was grey and overcast and sort of raining, that usually around 4:30, 4:45, usually by 5:30, the clouds are gone and we do get a little bit of blue sky and sunshine just in time for it to set for the day. And again, you know, the grey, wet, miserable days. Nobody wants to go inside. And as Maiden said, it is very, 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 very easy to stay inside when it's raining. And that was me today. I kind of woke up, I could see outside of the window that the blue skies were out. When I did open the door to go and have that first cup of coffee and smoke in the morning, I had to come back in and put a warmer jacket on, my boots, and a fucking hat. No, it wasn't Canadian prepper Hoopties, not at all. But wouldn't it be interesting if he did show up to one of our live feeds? Sorry, guys, I got cotton mouth. I kind of woke up quick and I ate a lot of spicy food before I split. Baby pea, there's a little burp for you. Some spicy food. While we are a little bit late, as I said, I went out and got myself some supper earlier. I've kind of really and truly been living off of MREs in my pantry for the best part of a couple of weeks. So I did have a little bit of cash in my pocket, so I went out to the local kebab shop, support your local businesses, and got myself some spicy food this afternoon. But I kind of ate it and all of a sudden just wanted to go to sleep. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to lie down. It's only 5:30 at the time. Before I knew it, boom, here we are. So I do got cotton mouth, and I kind of hate waking up in a rush. I would have probably put a pot of coffee on or something if I did, but I didn't want to leave it and linger too long. Let's get up and dive straight in. 2 hours later. Whoa. Yeah, no, and this is the thing, Maiden. I don't nap. I really don't nap. Like, and sleep is something that will elude me. I have to kind of medicate myself to sleep. Okay. Interesting. But no, my friend out in Ottawa, she was saying the same thing, that, you know what? Oh my God, yes, it is. Now you've mentioned it, it is exactly like that. It really is. The mornings and the daytimes are cloudy, and then kind of usually in the evening it does kind of clear up. Now, weather modification isn't something that is, you know, out in the realms of impossible or total fantasy. It exists. It's been here for fucking over 100 years. They did some weather experimentation back in the 1900s out in San Diego, a place I used to once live and would rather be living than Toronto, Canada right now. I have to do the same thing, medicate myself to sleep. But weather modification isn't in the realms of ridiculous to think that possibly this is where we are. And this might also kind of account for the amount of strange weather phenomenons in occurrences and activity we're having in the United States. I did see that Indiana may be braced for May snowfall. And again, it doesn't feel like May at all. It feels very much like, kind of March, just in the temperatures, the sort of feel of the air. And some of you know what I mean. You can kind of feel spring, you can feel fall, you can feel winter, you can feel summer in the air. It doesn't feel like May in just having one day of warmth in sort of that good feeling of being in the sunshine. Having that taken away is kind of almost plunged me into a more depressing place than before I had that one day. Now, bear in mind, guys, I have been waiting 7 months for one day that was going to be warm enough that I could sit outside and get a little bit of sun on my skin. And I did actually get some sun on my skin, guys. I've got tan lines from the one day, so that was a good. I don't know if you can see if there's a little bit of color on my hands and arms. It's real. They have a chem trading company in Fargo. Hoopty is the opposite. Clouds all over in the evening. We must get yours blowing down. That's a very possible thing, because you're not that far away geographically. Am I thinking that wrong? Are we puffering? I got a little bit of a spinny thing going on. Why haven't I put your comments up on the TV? That's what we're doing. There you go. So yeah, this weather thing, and again for the protest, it was colder than normal, very grey, very, very wet. And again, one of the videos I watched, the guy was saying, I can only imagine when the warmer days come that there will be many, many more people at this protest. And once again, we're looking at Saturday this week being the coldest day, the day when people are going to be going out and protesting again. That is going to be Saturday, May the 9th, the coldest day of the next 10. So is that to deter protesters? Are they manipulating the weather to keep us in place, keep us inside, keep us maybe a little bit more depressed as well? The depression of the winter and seasonal affective disorder, stuff like that, with the quarantine blues as well. So anyway, Baby P, she finished up watching Upload. I finished watching Upload. I did put my video up about it. That was something else that we were talking a lot about. Very, very fascinating show. And the interesting thing was there's also a show called Era 404, which is almost identical in its concept, except for they don't exist in a virtual world after they have had their memories stored and uploaded. They get uploaded into another body. But it was about a cop who was murdered in the line of duty, and then he was, because he was a very good, had lots of arrests, very declarated police officer, he qualified for the upload kind of program, and they did indeed upload his mind and memory into a clone body. Come out a couple of weeks before Upload on Sky One over in the UK. But very, very interesting that these two shows at the time that we are under kind of a pandemic quarantine, almost the captive audience, are being kind of promoted and put out there. And I was actually talking to Roger about Upload, my roommate, how weird it was, because I do have a sort of theory for a simulated reality that I live in, and this cold weather might exactly be that. You know what? I used up all my credit in in-app currency on Sunday with my one warm day of sunshine. It's like, you know what, let's just take all this currency, give him a day, and now I'm kind of back with no in-coin currency, so I haven't got enough for the simulated reality to provide me with heat. It was grey all last month, and it seemed to be grey all month here too, with the exception of a couple of weeks, or just under a couple of weeks, maybe the first sort of 10 days of April. did seem as though, you know what, oh my goodness, winter's behind us. The warmer days are slowly rolling out. We're getting warmer and warmer and warmer, and then boom, the grey deluge just come in, and it really does. And you know, I kind of sort of sit in my little basement at times, trying to occupy myself, but you know, I don't get much light in here because it is a basement. And then when you kind of go outside and it's almost as dark outside as it is inside, dang. And you can understand why those folks up in you know, Alaska, where they kind of get 30 days of night. Oh my goodness, that must really yeah, that must be a bit brutal. So we still only got the oh, hold on, the young lady I was just talking about is here. She just dropped me a message. Let me just give her a message, see if we can get her over. Hold on, guys. And the other interesting thing about this individual out in Ottawa, I was just telling you about the weather. She's also very pregnant at the moment, 21 weeks pregnant. Nothing to do with me, I hasten to add, unless it was some kind of immaculate conception. But no, she's pregnant, and she had the worst experience going to the hospital to try and get her ultrasound, where they kind of almost made her feel like a criminal for being there. And she's going to put a video up very shortly about she just sent me a message to say she's putting a video up about her pandemic pregnancy and her experience, and that is something also I found a little bit interesting. So do we still got comments, or have I lost 6 people? Yo, well, usually we do get a few more than this by the 22-minute mark. Well, I thought that was a little bit interesting, the experience of someone who went to the hospital, absolutely no signs. Okay, BBP still here, no signs whatsoever of illness or COVID symptoms, nothing like that. Just literally went to go and get an ultrasound, and they wouldn't even let us see the picture. You just did the ultrasound and kind of shooed her out the door. I got dirty looks for bringing my 5-year-old out with no masks. And this is another thing. Glad to see you're still here, Heidi. You know, the people that are turning on their people. I'm just going to hold on a second. All right. I don't know if, are you here? Come join us in the chat. Oh, I'm talking to her and I should be typing. Sorry. So you got 6 folks. My God, we're just losing people by the minute. I have lost another bunch of subscribers over the weekend. Oh my God, Hoopdies, you got to saw the comments from Rampage Fugal Fam. Most hilarious thing ever. My God, if you thought the troll was funny, I mean, goodness, you know what those lot over at Fugal like in their mafia. But he considered it was reckless to go to the protest, and also kind of thought that it was a danger because we might indirectly infect. And I'm like, dude, you've got a fucking anonymous mask. You're called Rampage, and you're spouting off the rhetoric of the fucking narrative from the mainstream. You should social distance, stay at home. People with weakened immune systems are particularly at risk. But Rampage, I'm here to rampage for the Fugal Fam. He's got sort of like special needs and conditions, I guess, that I mean, he can't really go outside, and he's got a little bit of a weakened immune system. So kind of maybe not the best name to have, Rampage. It's kind of like something a WWE wrestler would have, or maybe some kind of berserk inmate in the Yellow Stripe wing. Interesting. Okay, so she will be going live, so if not, she's coming there. It is the old video game with the you could control the Godzilla or the King Kong or the other creature and used to smash up. That they actually made a movie of it recently with The Rock, if you can remember. I had a beta mail delivery guy tell me to stand back because they are practicing social distance. I'd have just run over and kicked him in the fucking bollocks. Hoopties. Amazon, and something interesting about Amazon, they kind of wear they have those like black brownie kind of color bands, and they also wear kind of brown shirts. You know what I'm going at? And Amazon are a big part of the militarized industrial complex, and Amazon currently are fucking putting the mom and shop places out of business by using their delivery services. Some of these guys that you actually get, you know, Whole Foods, I think in the United States is one, for example, that Amazon delivers their groceries, and I believe Whole Foods is part of the Amazon company. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but they asked maybe in partnership with Whole Foods to deliver their food. But again, you know, these guys wear the little brown shirts, the little brown caps, and they are telling you that you have to obey their rules. So Hoopties, he parked at the top of the driveway. I went to meet him halfway and he wouldn't hand me the package. He walked by and put it on my step and took a picture of it. Yeah, I actually seen one the other day in the neighborhood do the same. He kind of went out, dropped it on the next door neighbor's front porch and took a picture of it, but nobody come out. But
Did he have the voice, Hoopty? Did he say, "Excuse me, miss, I'm an Amazon employee and we are practicing social distancing. If you could refrain at least 6 feet from me because I too have a weakened immune system."
No, I'm not making fun of people that have weakened immune systems. It does happen, but I can't understand for the life of me somebody who would consider themselves to be a truther, somebody that follows truth channels, and would go to the extent of putting the anonymous mask as their profile picture. That in itself is kind of almost a statement, an affiliation. You know, it's almost like putting maybe, you know, a picture of Jesus or a picture of I was going to say the Prophet Muhammad, but you're not allowed to do that. But some kind of religious, or maybe even your favorite sports team. You know, this is something I support. This is something I stand for. And then to sit there and spew off this long-winded, ridiculous, random nonsense about, you could have almost been a Greta Thunberg speech for all it's worth. Skinny jeans, black rim glasses, and a jaunty, crooked, flat brim. Was there any beard going on, Hoopty? Did he have a beard as well, one of those kind of hipster beards? Did he look as though there was quite...
I'm going to go and get myself some Beyond Meat products once I've finished this delivery.
We went to the grocery store as a family today, wearing our bandit masks. Well, that's good. Get out as family. And that was another thing. I did see quite a few families. He definitely looked like a Beyond Meater. Interesting stuff. Yeah, the two a penny. Are they being cloned, Maiden, Montana, or Hoopties? Quite possibly. You know, kind of every Starbucks in the world sort of has that one beta male barista with the man bun and the glasses and the beard and the rub-on tattoo sleeves. Makes me embarrassed sometimes to have two tattoos. We've seen all these little limp dick, weak wrist beta boys getting inked up. Let me see if I got this one. This is the most funny one, if I can find it for you, that I saw. I'm pretty sure some of you have heard and been aware, you know, you have an idea that there are prison gangs, right? You guys must have heard of these. I'm not saying you're affiliated, you've joined one, or you've ever been up close to prison gangs, but I want to wear a black ski mask with the eyes and mouth hole. Hey, it's a mask, right? Yes. And Maiden got real beef. Good for you, Maiden. Lol. But anyway, prison gangs, guys, you know they exist, right? Well, did you know that there is a vegan brotherhood prison gang? And this, wait for this, guys, wait for this. Actually, you know what? there he is. There's a vegan Brotherhood prison gang member. That's his mugshot there. There's his vegan tattoo. Look, he's got his gang crosses, and he's got some kind of plant-based pattern tattooed on his face. So there is one of the members. I don't know if he's the leader, but this individual is part of the vegan the vegan Brotherhood prison gang. Yeah, I'm God. Should you look at him again? Here he is. I'm not exactly sure how much territory or how dominant the vegan, hello, I'm the vegan prison leader gang, we don't eat ramen. They probably don't. I wonder if what they spread with, because there's not really much vegan stuff available on the commissary. Is that Framel? I don't know. What do you mean Framel? What is Framel? I hope his ink is animal free. Should we look at him again? Let's look at him again. He is funny. Hello, welcome. I would like to recruit you for the vegan Brotherhood gang. There he is, vegan. Guys, I'm going to show you something else that come to me today. It kind of, blew my mind a little bit. So you do know I am a little bit of a football hooligan. I've told you a little bit of my past. That's how I live my days. And I do have a lot of Facebook groups also, one of which is a little fan club for my local team, Swindon Town. Now today on one of those groups, a random individual posted a picture, and he asked if anybody had any trips here, and did I see Sings is also here? Okay, so this guy posted this. Can I find the what he said? Hang on. Okay. So can you see that? Okay, so Swindon Town FC, the good old days. Anyone know who is this getting excited about the playoff final after getting past Wigan Athletic in 1987, 33 years ago, guys? This was me celebrating at the soccer game. Hang on a second. Let me go back and get the better picture for you. Okay, so there you go. That was me at the soccer game at in 1987, 33 years ago. And as you can see, I've managed to climb up and get on top of the goalposts after we scored a goal. So that was yours truly 33 years ago as a 16-year-old. Celebrating, and that my goodness, that brought back some nostalgia. So no one's even paying attention to the 33-year-old picture of me dancing on the goalpost at a soccer match that was in the local newspaper that somebody asked if they could identify. But it's kind of ironic in the fact that it was a group that I kind of run that he posted the picture in, asking if anybody knew about it. So there was me 33 years ago. I know you are, baby P. So Trip and Sings, how have you been, Sings? We haven't seen you for a while, although we're not going live every day, so maybe that is why it does seem a long time. Did you make it on Saturday night? We had a fun show Saturday night, Sings along. We got a real live troll. My goodness, what were they thinking? It's kind of like I know like when the Rebel Alliance sort of did launch an attack against the Death Star, at least they put up kind of stunt fighters in sort of weaponry that might stand a chance of defeating the Death Star. And lucky enough, they did. It was a long shot, but with the Force, Luke Skywalker as X-Wing, he managed to replicate his good old days of Beggar's Canyon and shooting Womp Rats to get his proton torpedo into the exhaust port. That, of course, was put there by design. The Death Star, the first Death Star destruction, was an inside job. One of the people that actually helped design the plans for the Death Star put that exhaust port in there as a self-destruct option. But the troll, it was come I mean, that's what I'm saying. You've got to kind of maybe tip your hat a little bit to the one troll. It's not going to go in well, but it's kind of the Rebel Alliance didn't send paper planes against the Death Star. That was surely going to fail. That's not going to go well. It doesn't matter if you've got the Force or not. You're not going to be able to take the Death Star down with paper airplanes in one of those references from War of the Worlds when the humans try to fight back against the Martian fighting machines. Bows and arrows against the lightning was a reference to compare the humans' weaponry against the mass and the might of the advancing Martian army. Yeah, and how the hell is my mum talking to you about you getting banned on Facebook things? Bizarre. This is bizarre world. This is kind of like Seinfeld, when worlds collide. Do you remember when they started hanging out with what was George's girlfriend called? The one that died of the stamps, but she started hanging out with Jerry and Elaine and stuff, and like George's no, this is my world. I come to escape from her, and this world I escape from in her world. If the two worlds, George can't exist. Yeah, what did you post? It's something about information you were trying to share with people. Susan, was it Susan? Yes, it was Susan. Yes, good. Thank you. Whoever brought that in, Baby P. Susan. It was Susan, right? I got kicked off Facebook, so I deleted it. What, your entire Facebook? You don't have Facebook anymore, Sings? Have you disabled it? It is very, very frustrating, and I do kind of find it very frustrating when I look on my social media and see some of the kind of mind control narrative being repeated over and over and over. Facebook free for almost 2 years. There was a time I did go Facebook free when I was down in the States, and Colleen had everything. They called it hate speech. And that's what I'm saying. Hate sings along. If anybody, like, I don't know, if I kind of saw a picture of you and your family and stuff, I'm like, this person, she's not capable of hate speech. Yet Facebook thinks you do. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute it was hate speech. I've been subjected to hate speech strikes on this channel, which is why I took down the live feed from Saturday night, because I did rip a little bit brutally into the troll that might be deemed as hate speech. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I do have, as I say, run a lot of groups on Facebook. I actually have about 70,000 followers in over the various groups that I do got. Nope, I have Messenger still. Okie dokie. Well, anyway, I did see that my mum was upset that you got silenced for hate speech sings. So it's like, wait, what now? I don't know. But what was it over? What was it over? I do know you can't post about gun rights and marijuana legalization on Facebook. Yeah, I think I had something once released about marijuana, even though I live in a country where it's legal. But anyway. Or Greta, yeah, well, my Greta bashing got me my first hate speech, and that was supposed to be removed, but it hasn't. They've left that lingering. I'm not even going to bother getting up now. Kind of that shit does get on my nerves. Oh yeah, look, I've got the squishy turd. There's his eye, look. In the same post, Michelle has that problem on Facebook. Yes, she does things. I mean, as you know, she does put a lot of stuff up on TSP News. They took your post about Greta yesterday. Really, huh? Interesting. Because she's going on hunger strike, or something until Donald Trump is removed from office. I'm like, I don't think anyone's going to bat an eyelid, Greta, or give a fucking flying fuck if you're on hunger strike. At least maybe some plants might get to grow and enjoy a season of warmth rather than getting mished up and processed along with a bunch of other franken food shit and formed into a chicken nugget or a beefless beef burger that you can enjoy. She's always hungry. I actually still believe that she is a clone. And oh my God, Elon Musk. He had a child. Right, he's had a child, but did you see what he called it? It's like fucking C3PO or something. It's not C3PO, but it's like AE/376A1. Did you see that? Someone said on the post, I give $10 towards funeral expenses. William, hey buddy, glad to see you here. William also had the luck and fortune to see Rampage. Tell us we were all reckless and irresponsible for not flattening the curve. And thank you very much for your comments on that, William Mason. They were really, really good. But yeah, no, let me try and find it up for you. The story about Elon Musk. Actually, Annie Burdell, our dear friend over at Prepper Chicks, she sent that to me. Oh no, she didn't. She tagged me in it earlier. Fuck. Let me just Google it rather than try and go through inboxes that I don't know where it is exactly. Baby P. There was a burp. Elon Musk. Baby name, first thing, right? Baby name that comes up. Okay, so if you didn't know and you haven't seen it, that's what he's named his baby there. He's named baby is named XAE-A12. And the other thing that kind of did remind me a little bit about, I did kind of also say C3PO, but during the Clone Wars, that looks very much like, oh, that's wrong. That looks very much, stop doing that. One of the clones' identification numbers, they all had ID numbers, not actually real names, but the clones did eventually go on to give themselves names, but they were given numbers. So yeah, that's what he's done. Let me read you a little bit about it. So on the 4th of May, Elon Musk is either bad at typing, bad at cracking jokes, or terrible at choosing baby names. After announcing that his newborn son with Grimes, is that a sickness or an illness or something? Grimes disease? I think it is, right? I don't know. But he's called it XAE-A12. I'm not sure if you could gematria that, because you got AAB. A12 would be AAB. X would be what, 24? So that would be BD. Yeah, I don't think AE, there's anything you can be made out of that, but maybe I'm wrong. But XAE-A12, the eccentric billionaire, announced last week that he would own no house and lost billions of dollars by tweeting about Tesla's stock. So it could be really any combination of those possibilities at the point. And no, he didn't confuse it with a SpaceX rocket. Musk tweeted the first photos of his newborn baby boy late Monday and early Tuesday after his Canadian girlfriend, Claire Elise Boucher, gave birth in California. I think she was probably looking for a green card, living in Canada, California, shacking up with a billionaire. That's got to be a lot more pleasurable than freezing your coochie in February and minus 30. And again, Elon Musk, he kind of looks a little bit like Zuckerberg. Like, you remember like the G.I. Joe dolls in the Ken, you girls, you must have had a Ken doll, in like kind of Barbie had boobs, but she didn't have a coochie. But Ken in the G.I. Joes, they just kind of had like a flat bit of plastic. Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, they look as though they would have that. They wouldn't have penises. So maybe was his baby cloned is what I'm getting at. Is that why it's got a clone type name, or is it a droid? You know, is it a fluent in 6 million forms of languages? He did not explain how to pronounce it, nor did he offer the shortcuts for typing that AE into your typeboard. You're just going to have to copy and paste it. He then shared the photo, and that's another thing he did. He put fucking tattoos. It was not real tattoos, but he put a tattoo filter on the baby's face. And I'm trying to see what they say there. I'm not sure exactly if that... Does that say Savage? I think it does say Savage. But yeah, he put these pictures, tattoo filters on. Hello, Glynis, my darling. It was named after the software that made him, quite possibly. What, you know, was it a test tube clone experiment or something? Is what I'm getting at. You know, oh, subject AE1276X has successfully taken its first breath. You know, I was named after software, and that's love. It's so the algorithm won't pick him up and he can hide him in AI. Dude, that is not a very ridiculous suggestion at all. And again, we did that upload predictive programming to talk about the TV show, chat a bit in the live show on a Saturday night. I think his kid is a droid. Exactly. That's the sort of name you would give a droid or a clone, right? It's not a sort of thing you would give a real child at all. And how, I mean, I'm guessing he's not going to be going to like a public school or anything like that, but how on earth are they going to do registers? Now, you know, some of these celebrity types have been known in the past to perhaps give their kids dumb names like Gwyneth Paltrow and that fucking beta male tall Chris Martin from Coldplay, one of the fucking worst musical bands ever to fucking pollute the airwaves with their shit fucking middle of the road crap music. But they named their kid Apple. And the Phoenix family, River Wokeem, before Wokeem changed his name to Wokeem, he was called Leaf Phoenix, and there was Leaf River Phoenix, the now dead, died outside the Viper Room, heroin overdose. Actually, I led outside the floor of the Viper Room at once and pretended to be River Phoenix. But yeah, they all had very, very weird names. Moon Unit Zappa, that's one of Frank Zappa's fifth dimension, a quadratic equation for endless toilet paper. Is that the kid's name? Moon Unit. But yeah, they do name their kids some very, very strange things, and then people will copycat. Oh my god, Apple. I love Gwyneth. I'm going to call my child Apple when she's born. So, you know, are some of these little beta boys out there that may, I don't know how they're going to impregnate some of their vegan girlfriends, but if they do, are they going to start calling their kid? No, because you see what I'm saying? The gender neutrality in those people that kind of pretend that they're something different. And this is something else that was very interesting. That Boy George, you must know who Boy George is of Culture Club, the 1980s tranny pop star turned to a celebrity DJ in the 90s. Got arrested and did some community service in New York, I believe, also for that. But he come out and he said that, bear in mind, George Michael Michael was also homosexual, but Boy George is very gay, kind of makes Elton John look like Burt Reynolds. But he made a statement, Boy George, recently, that forcing somebody to use a gender pronoun as opposed to something that has existed in humanity for tens of thousands of years, male and female, is incredibly nihilistic and narcissistical, and we shouldn't do it. So it's ridiculous that if somebody expects you to do that, that is because that person is not identifying as what they're suggesting they are, but it's the fact that they are that much of a narcissist that they demand that much attention and to be something different than the norm. And they've ridiculed. Got hate speech. And as I said, not George Michael, Boy George is a gay man. He was a transvestite. He still wears makeup. Yeah, a lot of this beef in the pig factories and stuff. There's meat shortages. Oh, you have a grandchild named. I didn't know you had grandkids. Sings. Oh, good for you, being a gilf, and that's a grandmother you'd like to fuck, rather as a mother you'd like to fuck. A Luna. Okay, well, Luna is that. Yeah, they are shutting. They do. Well, again, this is partly why I did a video on Soylent Green and the predictive programming just last week. This is where we're leading. They're creating the food shortages, and now people really, even kind of people that still believe maybe that this is a little bit of a dangerous pandemic, and we should maybe take in precautions, although we probably shouldn't. It's not as feels that, but even these people now are like, yeah, I don't really kind of think this is normal now. This does seem a little bit of it's got to be fresh people chow. And the disappointing thing for me, certainly with that video, it took me maybe days, like a couple of days, to put it all together in terms of collecting the clips and the pictures and all that kind of stuff, throwing it all together into one big piece, and then editing it once it was all put together, only to have to edit it further just to get it to upload. I cut 40 minutes out of that episode that did explain a lot about the Soylent Green factory and where we are now, the agricultural shortages that we're seeing, the supply chain. We can't cope. The supply chain has been broken. We can't deliver stuff. But the supply chain, it can get to Walmart. It can get to McDonald's, so you can Uber Eats and stay in the comfort of your home. I'm getting my own cow. It's a good thing. And somebody was, well, there are no COVID-19 bodies, sings along. They're just numbers of on a screen that said, Elmo, Elmo, Elmo. When did you sneak in, baby girl? Hi, welcome. Doing a drive-by, just done cleaning, about to work in the kitchen countertops. It's not on the countertops. You're not working from home since you can't cross the border into TJ to do your donkey show. So you brought the donkey into your kitchen. He's cleaned the tops, and you're going to be I'm joking with you, Almal. You know I am. Just wanted to give a little bit of a humorous image of Almal working at home, doing her TJ donkey show on the kitchen countertop. Can any of you picture it? I can. So Almal, I did also notice you and Hoops were having a little bit of putting your heads together, coming up with some Project Bluebeam stuff. Another bit of a video that's got some interest the last few weeks for me. News was on while waiting at the pizza place. Had a story about how kids are getting it now, and how a baby with a red rash. I actually saw something about kids that are supposedly getting it in some. This is one of those kind of Facebook cringe posts that I'm seeing that are kind of making me mad from friends today, about how children can get it and it turns their lips blue. So how can this fucking one illness have so many symptoms that kind of if you're a kid, it's going to make your lips blue. If you're old, it's going to crush your lungs. If you're a celebrity, you ain't got to worry about it at all. You can just fucking say you have it, pretend you're self-isolating, and then be right as rain. Just let people know that it was worse than the flu, though. If you could probably tell them, what was it like? Oh, it's worse than the flu. It's all the kids that Epstein killed. Not so much sings a lot. Abortion clinics, my darling. And something very, very, very coincidental that I did have to cut out of the Soylent Green video was the fact that the Impossible Meat Factory is 3 blocks on either side. It has 2 abortion clinics. I think that's their last COVID card until the next wave. Well, let's not forget, guys, we've got murder hornets now. Oh my god, guys, you don't believe it, we've just flattened the curve, but there's a swarm of murder hornets. Best stay inside, keep the protocol that you had at the COVID. Just stay inside. We don't want these murder hornets getting you and stinging you. Now, murder hornets, can you remember 1978? But are they, Al Mal? Are they? Wait and hear me out here. 1978, big blockbuster movie. Now, the 70s were huge. Every summer there was an Irving Kershner blockbuster. Towering Inferno, Earthquake, Meteor. But in 1978, he brought out a movie called The Swarm. And The Swarm was about a swarm of killer African bees that somehow found their way across the ocean to North America. And it was actually a very, very, very scary movie. I remember it shit the living life out of me as a kid, because bees were fucking real, right? I could see bees in my backyard, and it terrified me of bees for a little while. I was only young. I was 7 in 1978, but that movie was absolutely terrifying, and it was the cold that killed them. And they in the end they went into the Sky Dome in Louisiana, I believe, whatever the stadium is there, and they brought the aircon on. Amazon Smart Bees, thank you, Trip. They have little drones the size of insects. In fact, let me fucking come out and just pull one up. Let's get rid of fucking Elon. What more? Insect. I actually did a video on it about the Transformers and the Insecticons. Saturday morning's program Dark Society. And you can buy them, insect drones, all right? Insect drones. So what if our fucking murder hornets aren't actually real hornets? They were these little bad boys, and maybe they had a little dose of poison or something on their stinger. So insect drones are things you can get, and look, that's how tiny they are. That is there, you can see on a finger trip. That is a RC radio controlled insect drone with a camera attached to it, guys. So you see what I'm saying? Better get EpiPen, Project Blue, and Fear Bees it is. But yeah, drones, you've made another connection. The psyop. I do make connections, whether or not they kind of come to be, that they're connections that spark. Sometimes you connect things that don't spark. But the Gates delivery who fucking knows, guys? Heidi's woeing. Yeah, murder drones, but they have insect-sized, or murder hornets rather, but they have insects the size of drones, rather the size of insects. So what if Amazon has a fucking billion of these fuckers that they're just going to fly around? Very interesting, very, very interesting. There was actually something in The Simpsons once when Homer, he tried to break into Burns Manor, and it's something about release the dogs, and he goes, there was something about what are the dogs that when they bark at you they bark bees, and they used bees again in The Simpsons. So Amazon Smart Bees. So yeah, there you go. Trip kind of got on there. Who only knows? But I do think we are being led into something else before we see this all done and dusted. I don't think the COVID or these pandemic or the draconian measures that we find ourselves are living under are going to be lifted anytime soon. Something else that come out. Has anybody seen the China Mocks America video where they use the Lego characters? Oh my God, I've never seen a bigger piece of propaganda in all my time. And I keep telling you, China. It was a Chinese view. They developed it. China. China is the distraction. Whenever you have like a magician on Vegas, you have those two little pretty help or pretty assistant, or sometimes a couple of assistants, and they gyrate and bounce around on the stage, spin around, maybe have a hula hoop. That's China in this thing. China is the fucking distraction. Pay no attention to China. Don't look at anything Chinese at all. The Chinese people in Wuhan, when their minister went to patrol and investigate the area, hanging out of their windows, screaming at the world in their one opportunity to get a message out. It's fake. They're lying. It's not true. There is no virus. It's fake. But we're still being led to believe that China is the bad guy here. And they want you to believe China is the bad guy, just like they wanted you to believe that the radicalized Muslims were the bad guys on 9/11. China is the Lee Harvey. It's the fucking patsy. China is not involved. China is just being played as a part. But supposedly these, and that's a good point, William, that the hologram could be bees, an insect. Nice one. You've seen the video of is that what you're talking about? It's fake, Elmal? No, I haven't. It showed us. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. I think I went on Google. Hold on. Where is it? Hold your horses, guy. China. First thing, Lego animation. All right. Sorry, just trying to get to the actual video. Why won't it find a link with a video that I can play? All right. Hold on, guys. Can you see this? I'm trying to give you some volume too.
December. Strange pneumonia cases reported.
Roger that.
January. We discovered a new virus. It's dangerous. Wear a mask. Stay at home. Building temporary hospitals.
It's a concentration camp.
Built in 10 days.
Show off.
Time to lockdown.
How barbaric.
February. It's overwhelming our medical system.
Look how backward China is.
The virus is killing doctors.
Typical third world.
It's airborne.
It'll magically go away in April.
Everyone stay at home.
Violation of human rights.
March. Our numbers are now dropping.
Impossible. Look at Italy.
We wore masks.
You lied to us.
We made our data public.
You kept everything secret.
Your people now dying.
You warned us.
We said it was dangerous.
You lied.
April. We said it was airborne.
You gave false data. Why didn't you warn us?
We said it was dangerous.
The virus is not dangerous, but millions of Chinese are dead. Even though the virus is not dangerous, we are correct. Even though we contradict ourselves.
Gosh, just listen to yourself.
That's right. You lied. We did nothing for 3 months. And because WHO agrees with China, we're cutting funding for the WHO.
Are you listening to yourselves?
We are always correct, even though we contradict ourselves.
That's what I love best of you Americans. Your consistency.
So there you go, guys. That was the little video that supposedly China made. to have a little dig at America. But what it does, it very, very, very strongly supports the theory that there is a deadly virus, which, sorry guys, I just don't fucking believe for 1 minute. So this also is, whoops, sorry, I forgot to turn the sound down when I come out of there. Oh Lord, now that's a bunch of who. And the other thing it kind of does is it's not necessarily kind of America, it's kind of targeting the president. They got Legos low. Again, it's probably not come out of China at all. It's probably been made in some kind of CGI lab in Hollywood and being used for propaganda purposes. China isn't the main enemy, guys. China is the kind of the Cold War enemy, just like kind of Russia was back in the 80s, and would be, oh, those fucking Chinese, it's all to do with them. And again, the China is the distraction, the slip of the hand in the magic trick. So while we're looking at China, we're not actually watching what our own governments are doing to make us more like fucking North Korea. And believe it or not, people in North Korea right now have probably more freedoms than we do living in the Western world. Yeah, it's all part. It's not. I mean, it was a kind of cutey little kind of thing, cartoon, the way it was done, and sort of the simplistic way of it was to kind of target the dumber demographic of citizens, I guess. Now we know why they started building a wall so long ago. Well, yeah, they also built a wall in England, Hadrian's Wall, to keep the Scots out once upon a time. So large walls are nothing new. They have been around, but that little thing kind of it still demonizes China by saying that there was a virus there. Now, no, this isn't. You know, they said that's where the virus come from, but not really. There wasn't a virus. I believe that come out of a Wuhan wet market or even a Wuhan biology lab. What I actually believe and think to myself is that the medical agencies and the elites do understand that not many common man or individual kind of understands viruses. You know, we may know colds and flus and diarrhea, but we don't know the generic and the chemical names or the medical names or the codes, all these for coronavirus. Coronaviruses are something we all carry. What they have done is used our ignorance of knowledge of this and used it as a weapon against us. They've weaponized a common cold. You know, it's worse than the flu. It's worse than the flu, guys. Got to tell you, it's worse than the flu. Nobody still knows anybody that really has contracted it. Loved, you know, maybe a friend of a friend, or maybe somebody that's died and they said that they died of COVID. But they weaponized something that exists within all of us, so that if you did go and get yourself tested for some corona, because there isn't a COVID-19 test, just remember that. They haven't developed a test yet. There are no tests for corona-19, just coronavirus. And as we all have them, then there's a very good chance we are going to show symptoms of this. You see me? Of course, they're all working together. There's a one world government that is kind of concentrating on bringing the separate sections of the world. Now, there are three. There's the North American, there's the Euro section, and there is the Asian section. Now, third world countries don't really fall into the jurisdiction or the plans of the New World Order. It's just, you know, Europe, America, and Asia. Asia, certainly China, has the society that is desired for the one world, the social credit system, the total surveillance, the fact that each and every day, you know, in China now you have to have an app, you have to download this government app, you have to spend a certain amount of time a day on this app answering questions on China. If you don't, it affects your social rating score. So China is the model for the one world government, but they have to collapse the American economy, the European common economy, and then form a Euro-American Union. The European Union was the first part of kind of this amalgamation. What it did is it removed sovereign nations, their currency and their centralized bank, and it put a centralized European bank run by the Rockefellers. And the Rockefellers, I can't remember, is it the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, they either control the banking in Europe and America between them. And the Asian sort of clans, they're all kind of part of sort of splinter groups. But uniting the power and strength of Asia, Europe, and America together would essentially build you the trilateral connection and formation of the one world, right? So you've got the power of America, power of Europe, power of China. Sorry, phone dies. Build a Blurks crew, probably thought this up. I know we're going to be the North American Union, and this is what it was. 1992, when the European Union was announced, and in 2000, in the year 2000, that's when they adopted the euro as a currency. So they had to kind of get rid of their existing currencies and then embrace the euro. Funny enough, I was in Amsterdam for New Year's Eve on the millennium, as it went from, it changed from what was once guilders. They used to have a guilders as currency to the day they wake up January the 1st, and all of a sudden there's a brand new European currency, the euro. Well, Killer Kyle, welcome, stranger. Glad to see you there. Yeah, I'm a vet, and so I'm still pissed if you didn't know about this whole deal. What deal are we talking about? William, glad to see you, Killer Kyle. Hasn't been the same without you, brother. Sometimes we think maybe we've upset some people and they don't want to come back anymore, and I do lose a lot of subscribers. Wonder how many we'll lose tonight as a result of it. But the European Union is kind of in collapse. We've heard countries like Greece, for example, being one of those that is struggling and on the verge of bankruptcy, that's needed bailing out. There are actually 7 red light districts in Almel. I could tell you kind of some accurate descriptions of them all, including the one red light district, which is kind of like the fetish red light district, where you might find like amputee hookers or hookers in wheelchairs, midgets, transsexual ones, maybe like 7 feet tall, bald women type things, but that was a very, very interesting red light district. Most people think that you know, there's that nice touristy one by the canal with the lights, and that's the bling bling, that's the rent. The girls, they have to make some bank to rent those booths. But there are some on the outskirts of the city that yeah, you don't have to earn as much rent to pay your bills. And there's actually some that like the alleys are not. Anyway, sorry. Have you been to the one in Frankfurt? Never been to Frankfurt. I've been to Stuttgart, Cologne, Munich, a couple of other German cities, but not Frankfurt. Not Frankfurt. But Prague, Bangkok. I've been to some red light districts around the world. William. Or Almel, sorry, that was Almel. Stuttgart is beautiful. Yeah, never been to Stuttgart, but I have spent a lot of time in Germany though. Bangkok, yeah. I actually had a little bit of a crush on a lady boy in Thailand. Never did anything, just like, dang, this. I know you're a guy, but you're so fucking hot. And I fucked uglier girls, that's the thing. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe, you know, he's a guy, he might like how I work. But the thought was there, never the practice. But the European Union being collapsed and putting a singular currency removed many nations from their independence and their own independent currency, and many countries have struggled under, and it was designed to collapse. And the North American Union yeah, Ireland is another one. I have some bad static. Sorry, I don't know. I don't have any speaker or microphone at the minute. Yeah, Ireland is. I did see something the other day about Ireland being crippled in I can't really remember what it was. It was a few days ago. Okay, I thought it was on your end. So you guys are getting some static, huh? Well, I'm sorry. I don't have any microphone or sound equipment. The TV's down. I don't know what to tell you guys. Is it only when I'm talking, guys? We can stop this and start again if you want. Yeah, well, I can remember you being very, very busy a little while ago, Killer. You didn't have hours in the day. The static has been off stream, but it's okay. I'm not licking anything. Trip. Lick it, lick it. Lick what? What do you want me to lick? There's nothing to lick, guys. The phone? Only when I talk. Okay, I'm going later. Well, see you soon. Sings a lot. And stay out of trouble. Try not to post hate speech. Give it a little kiss. Again, I don't know what I should be kissing, Trip. Which one we kissed? The mic? Yeah. Is it any better? Probably not. So what are we at now? 12. All right, we've got about 30 minutes to get us up to the hour 30 mark. So perhaps if we do got static, we will wrap this up. Yeah, I noticed that the do you want to be friends? The person that guy Kez or something. Don't be in a hurry. No, I'm not in a hurry, but I try to give it around an hour and a half is a kind of minimum amount of time for a live show. Yeah, he always comments on my videos. Love it, love it, love it. Do you want to be friends? He seems to need some mic lead. I'm trying to look in the mic. Did that help at all, guys? It's AI, quite possibly, William. We do know that there is some algorithmic behavior that go on. The Marriott Hotel Mandela. Tell me who these. This is something that I want to be. Maybe it's a she boy. Want to be friends? If it was a little she boy from Bangkok, you know, maybe this day and age. Single life might not be a bad thing. Those bots work on getting your stats up and they sell it on the dark web. So what exactly, Heidi? So I've only got the one. It's not really getting my stats up that high, and I'm not sure that it would sell for that much on the dark web. Just my phone, Killer. I'm still operating. I actually have two phones, but I do everything off my phone. Was there a Marriott? Yeah, there was. There was even a documentary that they did. It's a bit of a stage-controlled opposition documentary about the Marriott Hotel afterwards. And there was an individual. There's two individuals that they interviewed that were supposedly in the hotel that witnessed it all. Yeah, there was a Marriott Hotel at the 9/11. It isn't. Hang on a second. Yeah, there you go. There's the Marriott. There's the two towers. Same people don't remember it. So did 4 buildings, or do they not count that one? I don't think they count the Marriott because it didn't have a World Trade Center prefix. There was 7 World Trade Center buildings, Tower 1, Tower 2, and some other buildings, and of course, Building 7. But the Marriott wasn't part of the World Trade Center complex itself, although it was on the World Trade Center and kind of connected almost to one of the towers. They say it did, but yeah, it got destroyed. There was nothing left of the ground. And there it is again. There was a nighttime shot of the Marriott. But afterwards, I'm not sure if that was what was left of it. But it was right at the base. Let's see if they have. Yeah, so, oh, it was. Maybe it did have a World Trade Center. Was it the 3? Because that would have been, I think, where it was, the Marriott there. World Trade Center 3. So there's the 1 and 2. There's the Building 7, look, that come down afterwards. And everything with a World Trade Center prefix was devastated that day. And it left nothing but a hole in the ground. So I'm thinking that is the Marriott. But yeah, that got destroyed because it was very, very close to the towers. Here you go. Don't know if you can see this one. Yeah, so it did have a World Trade Center prefix. My apologies. It was the Marriott World Trade Center Hotel, WTC3. But it kind of, as you can see, was very, very close to the 2 towers themselves. There was only like a little gapway between them. But yeah, they don't kind of seem to mention. And there you go. There's another. That's how close it was, right, to them. So, yeah. I know it was destroyed, but nobody ever kind of does mention it in there. So why didn't they say 4 buildings fell? Well, they don't actually say 3 buildings fell in the official narrative, Hoops. They only say that the 2. People don't even, there are still people that are unaware of Building 7. Some say it wasn't there. Something is coming. 511 220 B and Buzzsaw. Is that the date? 511? We're 511 today, right? No, it didn't. I don't think it fell, Elmel. It just kind of got crushed under the debris of the towers, or maybe it was because the other thing that was very interesting. God, this was all in September Tuesdays. The fucking holes. Oh my God, am I going on a fucking 9/11? I did start this show tonight actually at 9/11. I don't know if anyone has seen that. Holes. I'm not going to say I'm a 9/11 expert, but 9/11 is something that I have studied a great deal of. So what they were left was a hole, and these were the kind of footprints of the. I'm trying to get one from above. The footprints from the pictures from above, they kind of fell in on their footprints, but with a controlled demolition, right? Let me just give you this, because let's say you've got a building that is 100 feet tall like this. Now the biggest, the largest ingredient, should we say, within that building is air, and the air between the floors, right? So there's like a 10-foot space between each floors. There's 100 floors. If you take out the air and the what supports the floors, then the structure will be 30% of its original height. You with me so far? So remove the air, we get left with 30%. So every controlled demolition you see, whether it's in Vegas, whether it's in England, bringing down a big chimney stack or something, once the building comes down, it leaves a 30% pile of rubble of its original height. So if it was 1,000 feet high and it come down in a controlled demolition, you'd have a 300-foot pile of rubble. Not on 9/11, no. What you had was big fucking holes in the floor that went multiple levels deep. They fucking obliterated them to dust. There was not enough rubble. There was debris, there was damage, there was stuff. I'm not saying there wasn't, but there wasn't enough. And the controlled demolition, that is where the physics of the controlled demolition disappeared. When it kind of was coming down, ding, 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 ding. Yes, controlled demolition physics. After the fact, whoa, no, the physics disappear. It was nada. It was nothing there, Al. So they used a directed energy weaponry for sure. Let's use our good friend Dr. Judy Woods. Now, some of you guys, I was actually astonished. I'd never heard of Judy Woods. And Judy Woods has wrote the most compelling evidence anybody has wrote on the destruction of the towers, and actually filed an affidavit against the US government. I'm trying to find the holes. There is a picture, but it's not great. And that's not after. I'm trying to find one directly after. So you can kind of see there the controlled demolition, but there was something in the basement, or some directed energy, that kind of took out the central columns, because there was nothing left of the building itself. They just disintegrated into dust and disappeared. There is a picture that you kind of, there, can you kind of see? That would be ground level where these are, and this hole in the ground that was caused by whatever took them out. It just sucked right into the ground. Sorry guys, I went off in a little bit. The hollow tower theory is something I've also, God, it was all in the hollow towers, my September Tuesdays. That fucking killed. It's interested, it's puffered. Told you guys the AI are listening. I'm gonna be almost certain let's have a look. I was on 1965 subscribers at the start of this live show. Still am. Okay, we haven't lost any just yet. Interesting. 6 now. But the hollow towers, yeah, that they had, there was some, not 100% on that, but not at all, Hoopty. I'm kind of glad that you did. This makes for interesting topics and interesting discussion. Certainly, as far as I'm concerned, I love talking about things like this, and sometimes, picking my brain like this is a good way to get some entertainment or information to you. What were we talking about? The hollow towers. But as some of you guys do know, I did put together around 20 hours of footage in a series entitled September Tuesdays, where I tried to compile the most logical explanation for the chain of events that happened on that day, is a part, in my opinion. Not saying what I put in September Tuesday was the official events of what happened that day, but there was a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, this is the thing, Trip. Like, they went to town on this one. This, you have to understand, 9/11 was the biggest psychological operation the elites have probably carried out, because they carried it out in real time and they carried out live on TV. Remember this. Thank you, Elmel. It probably was. Not many people talk about the hollow shells or the gelatine Austrian art group that were given an entire floor of the World Trade Center rent-free to carry out an art project where they built a little platform for people to have their picture taken from a helicopter outside of the towers. A helicopter would hover outside and these people stood up on the little balcony that they made in the World Trade Center and had their photograph taken. And interestingly enough, the floor that was given to the gelatine troop in the World Trade Center was in amongst the strike zone. And I never heard of the hologram theory before you showed it. Thank you, Hooties. Heidi again. Very good videos. I'm just grateful I got to watch them before I took them down. There was kind of a little bit, I'm not saying that was my life's work, but I have not looked at anything like I've looked at 9/11. Anything. But they went to town. So I agree there was a controlled demolition, but there was also directed energy weaponry used and quite possibly mini nukes in the basement. Because remember, they did try to bring them down in 93. It failed. They put a U-Haul truck in the basement. Didn't work. So they then tried a U-Haul truck at Oklahoma City with stronger explosives. That, if you remember Oklahoma City, there was a circular shape within the building. It was very, very, very reminiscent to what we saw at 9/11 in the holes. So possibly what they used in Oklahoma City, because it didn't come from the van. The van in Timothy McVeigh, the explosives weren't there. The ballistics were not physically possible to have come. Everything from the building was blown outwards, yet the truck was outside. So they put something underneath the building itself that blew upwards and blew out. No, killer. I don't. But they put everything together in this operation. They put their full arsenal that they had available at them. They used holographic imagery to fool the planes. They used CGI on the TV. They used controlled demolition. They used directed energy weaponry, and they saturated the area with crisis actors that they could interview on cue to give them the desired narrative in response from eyewitness use that would confirm the official narrative. But unfortunately, many people weren't crisis witnesses and got interviewed on that day and kind of are confirming what I'm telling you. There were explosions in the basements. There was boom, 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 boom sounds of the controlled demolition. But the heat that was generated, the fires that burned for months and months and months and months after 1,000-degree temperatures, all those torched cars, the cars and the ambulances that were mangled and turned upside down. This was very much like the Hutchinson effect and directed energy weaponry results. And those images of the torched cars and burnt out buses and fire trucks and ambulances in New York, where these got fried, sizzled right down to the frame. There was nothing left of them, but there were piles of glowing paper around. So whatever it was that disintegrated solid steel, removed the steel and the engines and burnt cars to just the frame, didn't burn paper. But it also was very, very, very similar to the Paradise fires that they used the directed energy weapon to path a perfect. You remember seeing some of those Paradise fires, how the bushfire seems to target houses and cars but not burn trees. And then there was even those weird pictures of the trees that were on fire on the inside. Microwave. And this is, oh my god, the jumpers. What if they were pushed, Mel, and they didn't jump? Because that's another thing. tried to fix it, but I couldn't. The static, yeah, I don't know what the static is, guys. If it is that unpleasurable for you, I will stop this now if it's too much. So get this. So we're led to believe. Don't forget the passport. You know, I'm talking about the things, the paper that was blowing around in the sky, not the passport. So let's just pretend, Al-Mal, that you're the jihadi. Okay, so maybe this is something interesting end times that they're doing. Maybe they put the static in if you start talking about shit they don't want to. May 11, supposedly a meteor. Well, go watch my Project Bluebeams videos, William, because I've been talking lots and lots, in fact, almost from this pandemic start. There is this the cover smoke screen for media or alien invasion. We've been locked up a month. We can handle a guy, the sitting guy. I'm going to give you the link at some point to watch Dr. Judy Wood's Where Did the Towers Go? In fact, don't even need search. Just go and look for Dr. Judy Wood's Where Did the Towers Go? You should find some documentaries and watch them, because she really does tell it as it is. As far as I'm concerned, but the jumpers. Now, something she pointed out, she has a whole section on the jumpers, Al-Mal. Now, they actually have this weaponry that kind of shoots microwaves at crowds. It's for crowd dispersal, and it kind of will make you feel a little bit as though you're burning or tickling. And they've used this, like, they had this technology for some World Cups. I think at the World Cup in Russia 2018, they said that they had this in they brought this kind of equipment into this, any crowd trouble as a result of hooligans going to the World Cup. They could have been threatened and forced to jump. Not at all. Heidi, I don't think they would have been threatened. I mean, put yourself in that position. What do you want to do? Burn or jump? But this microwave energy, this kind of crowd dispersing thing, makes you feel as though you're burning. And sometimes in these riots they spray the water cannons, and then they use this. So when you get wet and the microwave weaponry hits you, it feels as though you're burning. Now, what Dr. Judy Woods noticed with a lot of people that were hanging out of the window and some of the jumpers, they had taken some of their clothes off. But the other thing she noticed was the distance that some of the people were from the towers that they allegedly jumped from. And there's actually some footage, not a lot, but there's some footage that you can actually see what looks like to be a human being shoot out of the building. And he comes out of one of the gaps. But she said something was forcing the people out of the building, because the distance from the building, like not even the world's record long jump distance jumper could get that distance. It'd have to take a very, very long run and jump out there. But some of them are like 20 feet away from the building itself, right? That's something you can't do. A normal person can't jump out 20 feet, right, without some kind of propulsion to get them that far. Me too. Even the thought of heights absolutely fear. I think about it and I will go weak at the knees. Terrible heights, and just thought of it alone. Again, oh my God, I couldn't know what to do. Oh my goodness! Look what's just happened. Oh my goodness. Wow. Sorry guys, let's interrupt this for some live breaking news. Let me get my Hi TSP TV. As you may know, community guidelines describe which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Your video, hashtag film your Toronto film your hospitals Toronto general, was flagged to us for review. On review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines and we've removed it from YouTube. This might be disappointing to you. YouTube is a safe place for all. It's not a safe place for four. YouTube, you fucking cocksucking piss weak little fucking short dick fucking beta boy cocksucker. That's what you are, YouTube. You're not keeping anyone safe. You're just keeping your fucking global masters narrative safe. So that video now, this removal has not resulted in a community strike. However, we still encourage you to review all of your content and make sure it's in line with our community strike. So it doesn't actually say why it violates. It just video content there. It doesn't say was flagged for review. Upon review, we reviewed that it violates our guidelines. So I don't know, guys, if you've seen that video, Film Your Hospitals, Toronto General. Yeah, we're just this message just coming now. Just now, I just got a message from it. When did I get it? 22:39. So about 15 minutes ago. So Film My Hospitals Toronto General has been moved because it violates their community standard. Didn't say how it violated, just took it down. No accident at all. So there's another little strike and shadow ban at me. Hey Martha. Oh man. So voice to skull, quite possibly Almel, but I believe that there was something in there that was used to push them out. Fucking coward piece of shit. There wasn't anything wrong with, there wasn't. It was just me on a walkabout in Toronto. I walked past the general hospital and yeah, oh my god, we've actually got a few videos on the hospitals. I did the Toronto General and I also did St. Joe's. So I wonder if St. Joe's is also going to be removed. I don't think. Yeah, look, there it is. That one, I've still got the Walkabout Kensington. St. Joseph's Healthcare is still there. And that one, and no, that's Phoebe. 868 views that one has. I wonder if that one's going to be removed next. So sorry, Hoopty, you mentioned something about what at that time? Well, I did suggest that because we did have a little bit of a rant from one of the Foogle fam on my End the Protest video. I went to the End the Lockdown protest and almost hopeless. I brought it up at 10:29. No, he doesn't. But some of his little mafia buddies do Judy Bell. And as I said, on Sunday, I did get a Foogle fam. Oh yeah, you did, and we were talking about that. I got those videos taken down as well. Interesting. I don't know. I guess it is killer. Barth is controlled. I don't know what. I wouldn't say he's controlled up, but he's controlled by YouTube, and he is allowed to promote what YouTube considers can be communicated to the truth community. Unlike me, an actual truther that tries to bring you truth as I see it. As I said, guys, I don't have any clarification or classified information that can guarantee any of this. I just kind of piece stuff together and Well, this guy, we were talking about it. Hoop saw him. William saw him. Rampage, Fugal Fam, and he had his little anonymous mask. But he thought it was very, very reckless that people were protesting. And
I got to speak on behalf of people like myself with weakened immune systems. You could sicken us all. You could infect us all if you keep doing this. It's so reckless and irresponsible and selfish to protest your freedom and rights that are being removed.
And you wear the anonymous mask as your protest. But yeah, he went on. He wasn't happy about it. So I did say to a couple of the girls, Becky P and Judy Bell and Maiden Montana, that there might be a possibility I'm going to see some Fugal hate. He's just getting bigger and bigger. It uses MSM. Well, unfortunately, my channel gets smaller and smaller. There's another burp. Baby P's keeping the burps there. And I'm getting smaller and smaller. I did put a video of my stats up the other day to show you what 90 days of shadow banning looks like. Now, let me just... over here. Can you see this here, guys? So look at that. That's for the last 28 days. Anything I get here is taken away straight away. So I had a good week. This was when I was on community strike. A whole week of subscribers when I wasn't uploading. The first day first 3 days I unsubscribed. There you go. Look at that big chunk. If you go 90 days, would you look at that, guys? Anytime I put up a video, that's what happens. These are live events. 6 on one day, 7 on there. So that's what 90 days of shadow banning looks like. Now, if I were to add all of these unsubscribers on up, that would be in the hundreds, people. That's how many subscribers I get stolen. I get more unsubscribed than I get actual subscribers these days. And there was that day that we said, oh my god, we're 3 subscribers away from 2,000. And then no sooner as that live stream ended, we'd lost 10 almost. About 6 or 7 had been subscribed, and then the rest of the week, for 2 weeks after, it took me right down to it removed 40 subscribers. What the fuck am I looking for? I'm trying to do. There we go. Okay, so we are well over. All right, we've got an extra. I was going to finish it. It says an hour and 30 minutes, so we're nearly up to the 2-hour mark, which is where we will draw tonight's proceedings to an end, if that's cool with you guys. I'm not sure if or not you've had an interesting show. We did talk about a little bit of 9/11, one of my favorite things to talk about in terms of truth movement. Real truthers, well, I like to think that I'm a real truther, and I like to try to be an honest truther, and I give you my honest opinion. I can't give you honest truth that I don't have clarification for is truth. But I also do like to think that at times I brought you some information that no other truthers are bringing you, and I'm not sure if there are many that are we just buffered, right? When we're talking about 9/11 again. 9/11 was an inside job. YouTube is censoring the truth. I'm just trying to target the algorithm. Greta Thunberg doesn't have a vagina. She's a clone. He brought subs from Dustin Nemo's. Okay, I'm forced to be cool for it. What are you being cool with? The only reason people like his show because of the live call-in. Otherwise, he's a joke. Conman, Mini, Tom Green. Yeah, I mean that was partly what I liked was the well, CT, my boy, how you doing? I do got a rat fucked ration video to upload that I give you a little message in there, CT. There's a um little thing for you because I had some grape. It's either grape jam or grape beverage base, and I did make a little sign about CT's favorite. You are in my thoughts, CT. It's not just the milfs and cougars that I think about. Doing good at home for a day. Well, enjoy. Glad to yeah, you know you've managed to get yourself back to home. Damn grape, yes, the grape. It does taste funny. I'm not going to lie, and I know you hate the grape, but I'm actually almost down. My MREs are running a little bit low. Here's a joke. The only thing like was the call-in would fast forward through him reading his news with his special wording, and that was another thing. Remember when we can't call false flags anymore? Call them furry Freddies. Yeah, so I don't really want to be unkind, but you know, not many people really kind of understood some of those pretender prepper videos that I was doing. I kind of exposed a few. And I didn't include somebody in there that possibly should do. Elmel, I was just going to do that, my darling. Because we were wrapping up. I like to pass it around. As you guys know, I have been out of work for over 8 weeks now. Haven't had a not yet, Martha. No, I did check the box today, and there was nothing in there, just some flyers. I just put it there for you guys. It came close, but yeah, it's been a little while, so there you go, guys. There is the tip jar. Anyone does want to give me a couple of bucks for my trouble, I certainly am appreciative of it now, and hopefully you do guys will realize I'm not really one of those hey help me donate support the channel kind of thing. I do this mostly for fun and enjoyment and a little bit of hobby, but at the moment it's kind of yes, I can hoop these. My boss come to the rescue, and actually my little friend Pumpkin, she was the first friend that came to my rescue and helped me out. But I was speaking to my boss. He gave me a call a week or two ago to ask how I was doing, if I needed anything. He actually offered me a loan. He said, you know, if you need some scratch, let me know. Not a problem. I got you. I said, well, actually, I do got something I need help with. Can you are you able to receive PayPal? And he did it. So he did that for me. And he also told me anytime I need that, he will help. He's just one of the best bosses I've ever had. He actually really does. Well, Shauna, I haven't spoken to her for a while. I was quite talking to Shauna quite a lot. Should probably touch base with her, to be quite honest. But yeah, I don't know why they kind of got rid of her and then brought in that. I think it's because of the hassle and harassment she's been getting from them. I think she went off grid just to kind of avoid it. But it was a shame they kind of went after her. But yeah. We do love Shauna. We might get her back one day and see if we can get her on the show, do a special. And it was actually, I was the first person to offer Shauna a platform to come and speak from. I said, listen, you want to come over and have a little chat on your channel? Let us know what's going on. I'm glad you like the graphics. I actually got a new. Do you want to see another new intro that I made just yesterday? I'm going to show you anyway. I don't care if you want to see it or not. Killer Kyle. There was me in 1987 being a hooligan in a football match. Someone found a newspaper cutting of me and posted it today. If you haven't seen it, there I am, dancing on the ceiling. Oh, what a feeling. That was my actual favourite tracksuit top as well as a kid. I love that tracksuit top. What am I doing? Getting you my new jingle. Do you want to see the new intro? Do you also want to see some weird lights that were seen over my hometown? You know, my Project Bluebeam. videos. I posted, I'm in a little truther group from my hometown, some buddies there, and you've seen it already, baby Pamplin. But this was my hometown of Swindon, the blue lights. That's actually the moon, not a blue light, but there was a blue light there. Luckily enough, there wasn't any adult material on this phone to see. Remember when that happened? Possible future thumbnail for you. Okay, the video. Sorry, I was also going to use that as a Bluebeam thumbnail. Maybe if I do a third video, but it does got Donald Trump on there. Sorry, I don't know why I'm showing you these. There's another burp. Video guru. Okie doke, okie doke, okie doke. Are you ready, guys? I'll get back to your comments in a second. I'm just getting the latest intro for you. Hold on. That was it. That was a new intro I made. Don't know if you like it or not. But I am trying a little bit to get better at editing. I don't know if you guys appreciate it or not. Although I did get a couple of good feedbacks about it. And I think that was my dear Elmel and Hoopties are like, whoa, you suddenly look professional. Thank you. I saw media earlier this evening look like a shooting star. Yeah, there's supposed to be a shooting star, a meteor shower this evening, Martha. Something to do with Halley's Comet. Shaft, yeah, I do like that kind of blaxploitation, kind of pimp, wow, kind of music, you know. Maiden made it back. I like it. Heidi likes it. So yeah, I do kind of like that kind of cheesy kind of 70s style. Oh my God, you know what we forgot to do as well? Put our video feed in 8mm. There you go. Look at that. Doesn't that look fucking... I love how that looks. That just looks fucking awesome. I was sky watching. So yeah, we are due a meteor shower tonight. So a lot of stuff I have been talking in the Bluebeam videos. Like, Jesus, I think I got nearly 3 hours of footage if you put the two videos together on Bluebeam. And Bluebeam is the suggestion that possibly we might see a staged or fake alien stroke meteor event in the middle of this. Now, if you remember way back before this whole thing, the pandemic in China become out of hand, Hong Kong was uprising. They were protesting and they were fighting back against the governments. In fact, it actually made me very emotional seeing those little brave Hong Kong citizens fighting against the authorities and the tyrannical regime that is trying to remove rights and freedoms from Hong Kong and make it more like mainland China, not the islands of Hong Kong. Vintage, it does. I just love how it looks. It makes the stains look fucking amazing as well. Or Russian rock. But the pandemic shut that shit right down. Remember, guys? The streets were deserted for weeks and almost months. The riots in Hong Kong were persistent, and old people were setting up little sort of shelter in little areas where the students and the young people, and it was wonderful to see the solidarity and the harmony, as well as the anarchy and violence that did give my hooligan side of me a fucking raging boner, and longing to be over there in the anarchy and chaos of that. But yeah, there was a big uprising in Hong Kong. Oh no, there's a pandemic now, shut everybody up. So I did suggest a little bit that maybe some of the protests, or certainly how the mainstream in the United States are kind of portraying and reporting these protests and the lockdown protests in the US, they're stirring a bit of a civil unrest pot. The kind of, if you're the supporters of the end of lockdown and the treatment of the people that are being arrested and dragged off would make you angry, and if you were one of the blue pillars, flatten the curve, what part of stay the fuck home don't you understand? My weakened immune system is at threat. Rampage, yeah, frugal fam, rampage. Calling yourself Rampage when you have a weakened immune system maybe isn't the best way to go. I'm just saying, maybe, getting associated with the COVID, but it looks as though they might be causing some civil unrest. But maybe, in a little bit like the Rebel News guy that was also at the Toronto lockdown protest on Saturday afternoon, said, that at the minute, weather is kind of possibly a factor as to why there aren't more people at Queen's Park protesting. And when it does warm up, maybe that will when we see more people come out. And we also started out the show talking a little bit about the shitty weather and is the weather being, and we're going full circle. Look at this, beautifully done, T. Sorry, I'm just proud of myself how I've brought the show full circle. But the weather modification is the weather being deliberately kept in a stage of shitty, grey, miserable weather to this. But maybe if those warmer days do finally come, more and more people start to take into protest, then maybe this would be the great time to start dropping asteroids or UFOs on the population as part of Project Bluebeam. So we puffered. I am quite impressed there how I did manage to, without planning, bring my show all into the kind of place that we started on. How have you enjoyed yourself tonight, guys? God, we've gone over 2 hours. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Texans just going to get their guns down. Well, Almau, as much as I do respect that and love the revolutionary spirit, bows and arrows against the lightning, my darling. They have thermonuclear weaponry. They have directed energy weapons. They can modify the weather. They have satellites in space that can read a postage stamp on Earth, and who knows what fucking Elon Musk's rockets are up there doing. What was the Bravo? Bringing it all full circle? Yeah, no, damn. It's probably a good reason for not going live each and every day, although it is kind of fun. And there was that kind of, oh my word, we haven't seen our little Nancy. Nats, let's all give her a token Shah. I think her phone's broken or something. But Shah, let's give Nancy a little Shah. We've missed her tonight. But yeah, sometimes I think less is more. Less can be more, and sometimes I'd rather be putting out a kind of show like this where, Hoopdies, Almau, William, all you guys are kind of pitched in and contribute a little bit and kind of helped make the show content. That was some great stuff talking about 9/11, and that's what I'm saying. Less is more. Maybe like 1 or 2 shows that are maybe a little bit longer a week, but a little bit more informative and a little bit more fun is kind of a little bit, I don't know, just going through the motions each and every day and trying to kind of raise spirits when possibly spirits aren't raised enough within yourself to raise anybody else. You feel what I'm saying? Without a doubt, Martha, Noah. He reeks of elite cabal, and he's a real life Tony Stark, and Tony Stark is indeed, Iron Man from the Marvel movies and the Marvel comic books. He is essentially Elon Musk, and Elon Musk, the reality, the fiction preparing us for the reality. We should give Skynet a nickname like Punk Bitch. Is it called Skynet? I don't think it is. Is it Skylink or Skytrain? Something like Nazi. Wherefore art thou, Shah? I think she was babysitting or something. She did send me a message on Saturday that if I was going live, she wouldn't be able to make it, and she was having problems with her phone. So, Punk Bitch. The Punk Bitch. Skynet is Terminator. Cyberdyne, the Skynet. Cyberdyne was the company, and the Skynet was the satellite system that deemed humans their biggest threat to humanity, and then decided to launch the nuclear warheads in a judgment day against the humans, and then afterwards went around picking up the pieces. Terminator. Anyway, guys, let's start wrapping this up before we go the Turdinator hoops. Sorry, we might be going into a little bit of a humorous period of time. The Turdinator. Wait, we could even... I've lost the furry turd, but I found a different furry turd. I'll be back. It actually looks like a shriveled Starlink. You kind of said it looked like Obama's nutsack last time, if you remember. But there is one of the furry turds. Look fucking great in 8mm veteran vintage. A hairy shit. Yeah, you can't see how hairy it is, or can you? And that's because I dropped him in a pile of dust bunnies. Can you dance the turd again? Oh my god. Okay, just for you. I can't find the other one. I've lost it. I really, really can't. Where did he go? Never mind. I was going to get him because he's got a good thing that you can dangle. He's got dangleberries. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Does it flash bright sometime? What are we talking about? Flash. I watch every night. Oh, you're talking to Martha, not me. There is a huge, I think it's what's supposed to be Venus out there. Yeah, if it was warm, I'd be outside every night. And it wasn't so long ago. Do you remember Hoopties? You saw that weird ass formation in the sky during one of those daily live shows we were doing before my community strike. You saw some weird things, and I actually saw the Skylink satellite system a couple of Sundays ago, and actually called Roger out to look at it. Venus is getting closer, if it is Venus. If it is Venus at all, might be a comet. So what's the my dingleberry? That's what my dingleberry looks like. I never get to see it. Well, if you use a mirror, or even you can get your phone underneath there these days. You can put your phone under your undercarriage and click a selfie of your roids. Actually, I've got some pictures of them. I don't. I was going to show you some. No, I don't got those. She said she was seeing stuff there too. So yeah, I saw some interesting stuff in the sky, as well as some of you got shit spit coffee. No, he can't. He's got no mouth, but you can kind of see he's got liquid in it. I'm guessing you spilt coffee at something funny I said, Almal. That's how we kind of started, didn't we? With we blowing up the eyeball. It was a long line. It's like star. There's about 50 or so these little, they just look like tiny little white lights in a very long line that were kind of going. One by one. That's great, yes. That's great, yes. I'm eaten and spit. Whoa. Upskirt, my goodness, what are you teasing me with now? Made in Montana. The upskirt hemorrhoid photo. There actually was a guy in my local Tesco's when I lived in England. This is when like cell phones were brand new with the phone on them. And he was walking around with his hand taking pictures up ladies' skirts in the grocery. They weren't like that close together, but they were all like the equal a distance apart, and it went on for like 10-15 minutes. I just watched as they went overhead. Very, very long line, very, very synchronized. I tried to take pictures of it and tried to get some video, but it just didn't come out on the screen. I do got a picture of yesterday's supermoon, if anybody wants to see. Got some very good moon pictures. But that was the moon yesterday over my house, the supermoon. Can you see that? Actually, let's get the normal look at that. So that was one of them. You can even see like 2 dots. Actually, let's get this up on here. That's better. Can you kind of see there? The 2 dots. So there's the moon. And those are those 2 dots. Whatever that second one is, that's bigger than a little star in the sky, because you can kind of see it there. You look there, those are stars. But there it is again. How bright that moon was. And that one was the interesting one, just for those, you see the orbs? And there is the moon. And this was the moon the other day. Can you see? And again, I don't know if you can kind of see those dots in the sky. Making a triangle. And you can't see it, but there's a light kind of in the tree where my finger is. That's Venus supposedly poking through the tree. It's the phone on my camera, yes, Almel. So it's just the regular camera setting, but I actually do this camera that I'm using, not the one I'm filming on, but this one has a 48 megapixel super Sony Ericsson technology, but it's got, can you see there, night mode? So when you take a night picture, let me try. Oh! The lamp fell down. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty dark. I'm just trying to take a picture of the lamp fell in the studio. All right, so I don't know if you can see, that was the picture I took in the dark. So there, you can't see it, right? You can't see it, but that was the picture I took without a flash using my night function phone. Anyway, let's turn the light back on. That was a bit fun. I could see it phasing crenants. There's supposed to be some planetary alignment. Yeah, I think it happened. It may have already happened. Annie Berdal, Prepper Chick, she watches the stars a lot. She's been posting a lot of things. UFO stars, I don't know. I think they're possibly stars made, but they kind of do look bigger than sort of the size of stars. You think? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna step out to look. How much do you want to bet that the Skylink's out there? Yes, that's looked like what I saw. It was smaller light except a triangle, not a diamond, and you could tell it was not a star too low. Whoa. There's supposed to be, okay, I looked at Venus. Pretty decent phone camera. Well, I did, God, I hate it. I did drop my phone and there's a little tiny crack in the corner that makes me want to cry. You can't see it there, but I can assure you it is there. And this was one of the budget phones I bought. It was $200, but I don't know if you can see. It's ceramic. There's me. Look at me. Hey. It's one nice shiny bald head, but it is a ceramic phone. And if you take it out of your case, it's a full screen. Yeah, great phone. Also come with 128 megabytes of internal memory, 48 megapixel phone, rear camera, 16 megapixel front phone. The best battery's got a 5,500 something or other battery. It will last for a couple of days if you don't overuse it, but sometimes I do wish that I had yeah, the rear camera. There's the rear camera. Look. It's sometimes, I mean, I keep meaning to get it fixed, but probably be more than, you could rub my head for luck. Martha, I did just shave it. I don't know, there you go. You can see, nicely, freshly shaved head. So there, if you wanted to pause the screen, you could rub it right there for luck. I did, as I said, shave my head a little bit earlier today. Something to do. Be careful what you ask for. Jessica Alba, unconscious and tied up. Jessica Alba, tied up and unconscious, maybe in tube socks. Undercarriage, upper carriage. But I do got a little notebook, which is kind of pretty cool. It did work for the early days of my experience as a YouTuber with TSPTB, but somehow the T button won't work, so I can't even, yeah, it's kind of like a smooth undercarriage, you know, you want to be chewing on a pissy mop. Jessica is really a man. Don't tell her that, she gets very upset. Although she's not here, I guess you're talking about Jessica at work. Maybe. But anyway, I think I've lost something on the rear camera. God, sometimes, you know, when you, well, I know a lot of you are ladies out there, trip. William, have you ever had that experience when you've been with a girl and it sounds like this? Okay, guys, so what are we at now? Fuck, 2 hours 16. Should we try and wrap it up? Oh, Jessica Alba. Watch it. The girls sound hot for head. Haha, indeed they do, William. Jessica Alba. Yeah, I thought you meant Jessica is at work then. But anyway, if Jessica Alba is a man, as I said, I fucked a lot uglier girls than Jessica Alba if she was a man. Yeah, because I do work with a Jessica. She's been in a couple of my videos, if you may have seen before. As well as TT, bless her. I do miss my girls from work at times. There you go, baby Pete. One more burp. It did taste a little bit like chicken shawarma. Okie dokie, guys. So somehow we have been going on a lot longer than we did anticipate, but I guess that's because you guys are having fun. I'm having fun. It's just so very difficult sometimes to say goodbye. Look at the poo juice. The moon, yeah, the moon has been incredibly bright, light hoops. Like, it's almost brighter than the day sometimes at night when we've had the cloudy, overcast, rainy, miserable days. Yeah, that sound you're making, we call it puta farts. Yeah, I think they're queef. They call it something like that, or a queef is the name for a vaginal fart. A queef. We used to call them fanny farts in England because fanny is what we call vagina. Not like Americans who call your bum or your butt your fanny. And we used to find it so funny when, like, we used to watch American TV shows as kids, and they talk about fanny packs. It's like, oh my god, fanny pack, hilarious. But anyway, no, not a quiche, a queef. It also sounds like they have, like, what do they call it? I don't know if you can see, but Hippie was talking about this stuff that sticks to the side of my weed jar. I don't know if you want to see. Look at that, beautiful weed. Let's take some out and show you what I mean. This has got a similar name. It sounds like something you would call vaginal farts, but that, if I get, hang on a second, I'm trying to get some out. Yeah, you see that there, guys? That is almost pure THC concentrate. Yeah, so I'm going to put that back. That's too good to waste. But that stuff on the side of my weed jar is actually more strong than this. But puta farts. Puta is French, not French, Spanish for bitch, right? So is that what it is translate to? Bitch fart? Good looking veggies indeed. This is the only veggies and the only salad I really enjoy, and the only plant-based diet I would ever embrace. Boom, see what I did there, guys? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Maybe I should try some of the queef. Keef, and of course what's keef? The stuff on the inside, yeah, keef. The THC, right? That sounds like a vaginal fart to me. The cure to most GMO and other elements. Yeah, and it's also a cure from other people getting killed by my anger, because without marijuana I would have probably gone to town with my buddy Stanley here and cut some lips off. Toss in a salad. We just toss the salad away and smoke the weed. Let's just get rid of the pointless procedure in eating. In fact, you should just really and truly with a salad, when you get it in the bowl, just dump it in the toilet. You can't actually digest the nutrients contained within salads. I keep telling you this over and over again. Whether or not you believe me is up to you, but you can. The human body can digest the nutrients from plants, which is why they're suggesting plant-based diet, guys, because it's not healthy for us. The Food and Drug Administration, they work hand in hand. Poisonous drugs, poisonous diets, not why we're going to get sick. Yeah, this has got some, this is an over 20, this is about 24% THC. This is Mango Sapphire. Actually a very enjoyable strain, very enjoyable strain. I put it in a pipe on top of bud, so it gets smoked before it goes through the screen. Yeah, I don't like smoking pipes. I used to smoke a bong once upon a time. I did got a little, these little, we used to call them a chapstick, and what it is kind of a little Beta Boy's penis. Look, that's probably how big Rampage wishes his was, fully erect, probably, something he's never ever managed to maintain with his weak immune system. But we called him a chapstick, or I called him a chapstick, because that's what it looks, a little tiny penis. Chapstick, and chapstick is a cuss in England that we'd say to somebody, oh, chapstick dick, when you've only got just the little nub that you get it, I'm sure. Meat birds, but is that the sort of pipe that you smoke through? I really don't like these at all. I kind of don't even feel as though I smoked. It could also be a new grounding device. You just sit on that and you sleep better. Feel more relaxed. I do got payment plans. If you are interested, there is a product code in the section below for my latest grounding device that you just sit on and ground yourself. And if there are some of you that can't afford it in one payment, I do have a payment plan, over 18 payments of $19.99, but you will have to pay separate shipping and handling on each payment with that. I used to make coconut bongs, but I enjoy the process of the rolling and the smoking and the holding it in my hand. I sent my first installment. Okay, Alma. Well, when you do receive the final installment, we will ship out your grounding device to you. Also, if you do kind of like super glue it to your forehead, you've got to super glue it to the center of your forehead. It also will provide you with some EMP shieldage. Anything that you have on your body while this is super glued to your head will be protected from any EMP shield, EMP strikes or EMP activities, as long as this is super glued to your head and your electronics are on your person at the time of the strike. And guys, what price can you put on your electronics? I mean, you could maybe find a kid or a stray dog after a nuclear strike, but your electronics, guys, those things are worth saving. Those things are worth saving there. That's exactly what I sent. Sold. Brilliant. I love these little actions. Get the car shield too. Unfortunately, this won't. You will need to buy the seems like I'm just trying to sell you products here, but this isn't suitable for car EMP grounding. You're going to need our rubber turd that you're going to have to stick in the exhaust pipe, and if you do, then this will prevent any EMP strikes coming in the exhaust pipe and targeting your electronics within the car. But you do need to wear it in conjunction with this one. Now, separate shipping and handling. If you order within the next 15 minutes, we will send you a second EMP shield grounding device, so you can sit on one while you're protecting yourself from EMP shield strikes. But there you go, guys. That's killed a few minutes and brought me into the close to the I'm sorry, they are in production at the moment, Killer, and we do have our development team working on a moped version. Unfortunately, can't say when we are going to complete that project. But Killer, sign up on the email list, and we will give you regular updates on the moped EMP shield. If you want, just subscribe $1.99 a month, and an additional $2.99 for every additional email received after that. It is very phallic, and as I said, that's why we call them little chapsticks. I also found it very lazy, also kind of smoking in these. There's like no challenge to it at all. But I do got this in emergency, and I have like kind of tried to what about a drawing? A drawing, like me, you want me to draw a picture? Not tonight, Almel. We are going to try and close this feed up in a couple of minutes. What an interesting episode. We had some good discussion. YouTube struck us with some live shadow banning. We caught them in the action. Does it come with a rubber? Say, I could possibly raffle one off, yes, or I could maybe sell you a slightly used and punctured rubber Almel that comes with it. That would be the rubber. Wheel of Thrift. Is that what you're trying to talk about, Almel? Do you want to sell the chaps? You really want the chaps? I can send you to it if you really want it. But it was a gift. I do keep it for emergencies, and we do got some furry turd. Not a drawing. Are you talking about like a gauze? A drawing? Americans and their weed jargon. It's just so confusing at times. It's like they call an eighth a half quarter. Like, how many fucking fractions do you need in one description? I need an eighth of weed. You know, you go out and buy an 8 ball of Coke, but then you need a half quarter of weed. It's a fucking eighth. And there is also a 16th. Is that what you mean? The little kind of shields. Bid now, slightly used. Yeah, we blew her up live on air, remember? You were here, Almel, weren't you, when I blew rubber Almel up? So yeah, she is slightly used. Do you want to say goodbye to her? We've got a minute left. Hello, it's me, Rubber Almel. $1. Okay. Killer's bidding $1 for Rubber Almel, and I don't know why or how this has actually happened, but somehow her rubber coochie or her Sharpie coochie and butthole kind of stuck near her face. I don't know. So anyway, let's start saying our good nights, guys. Cali Ninja's already making his way for the door. Almel's got some laughing. William's not buying used. I don't blame you, William. Good night, Callie. Good night, guys that did join me here this evening. You've been a wonderful company, wonderful audience. We had a really good live show tonight. That was a lot of fun and interesting. Hope you guys think so too. And everybody, before we go, let's all really clench and be angry and be Rampage! I'm Rampage! Fugelfam! With a weakened immune system, that's my superpower. Don't be reckless. Follow Rampage. Oh, a drawing. Okay, a drawing. A raffle is what you meant, Nora. A drawing. I mean, that wasn't exactly, you know, it was very ambiguous. A drawing. What, you want me to have a drawing competition? You all send me pictures of what you think I look like, and then I judge the best one. You win a pipe. I'm just teasing you, Martha, baby girl. You know I am. But yeah, that would be a good idea. Maybe we could put names or something in the hat. I'm not even sure what Raging is hard. Raging for Rampage. I kind of secretly hope he's listening. And do you know what was really funny? Because he did write a very, very, very long response. And as soon as I got the notification, I just removed it. I think to myself, he's angry. Rampage, I'm gonna tell you I'm Rampage. He's typing. I can't get the anger. The words aren't fast enough. I'm Rampage, Google fam. Reckless people. And then he just deleted it. So he didn't go. When the aliens come, that's what I'm gonna do. Squat down and my fist and shout out Rampage. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do too. Okay, guys, on that note, I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to say thank you very, very much once again for your company, your contributions, and I guess your friendship, guys. Thanks for watching. You know the drill. It is a shit video production. It is TSP TV, and maybe we will put together, yeah, that's true, they do killer, maybe we will put together some little gift packet or something. Trip, I might try to get your parcel out this week if I can. I can't promise that, but I am going to try. I didn't forget you, and Heidi, don't think I've forgotten you either. I do got a little package from you. So thanks, guys. Do appreciate everything and your company this evening. Hope you guys can take away something from this live show a little bit, some food for thought, even if it's just a little giggle and a laugh at the expense of Rampage. And you've got to say it in that voice, Rampage, because I'm sure that's, when he was thinking of his profile name, what did he reject before he got to Rampage? Anyway, guys, Shit Video Productions, TSP TV. We will see you in the next one, guys. Until then, keep it thrifty, and you know the drill. Be excellent to one another. Take care. See you soon. Peace out.